Hi everyone, I'm Felicity Giorgio, and today my presentation will be on abortion. Do you support women's rights, and do you believe women should have control over their own bodies? Then why is abortion such a controversial issue? Being pro-choice isn't something that should spark arguments or even be debatable. It should be a woman's basic right to have the freedom to choose whether or not they want an abortion. And as a woman, this topic hits harder for me because it's scary to think that government officials are fighting my right to have control over my own body. Today, I will be going over why women get abortions. Then I will discuss unsafe abortion methods. After that, I will talk about the bans and restrictions states have towards abortions. And finally, I will explain why adoption isn't always the best choice over abortion. And just in case you don't know, abortion is a medical procedure that terminates a pregnancy. Medicine or surgery is used to take out the embryo or fetus and placenta from the uterus. Now we'll go over why women get abortions. Even though it's none of our business, women get abortions because they are not ready or do not want children. They will not be able to afford to raise a child. Their pregnancy is high risk, or they're a victim of rape or incest. 57% of women getting abortions were low income, and 1,300 women were victims of rape and incest. Women should not have to sacrifice their bodies or lives for a high-risk pregnancy or for a pregnancy they never wanted or planned to have. The majority of women who do become pregnant were even practicing safe sex. The National Abortion Federation journal states half of all women getting abortions report that contraception was used during the month they became pregnant. Women should not be punished for the failure of contraceptives. I will now discuss unsafe abortion methods. Women who want abortions are going to get them regardless of whether their state outlaws them or highly restricts them. According to the website Doctors Without Borders, more than 22,000 women and girls die each year after having an unsafe abortion. And 7 million women and girls are injured or disabled due to unsafe abortions every year. These unsafe abortion methods women do include inserting sharp sticks into the vagina and through the cervix to reach the uterus. They ingest hazardous substances and chemicals such as rat poison or bleach. They also insert herbal medicines into the vagina, and they cause trauma or damage to the fetus by falling or hitting their abdomen. The critical injuries women will get from these unsafe abortions are hemorrhages, poisonings, sepsis, uterine infections, severe organ damage, and possibly death. Women are being refused safe abortions only to die or get life-threatening injuries from unsafe ones. I will now talk about the bans and restrictions states have towards abortions. Roe v. Wade is a court case from 1973 that protects pregnant women's rights to choose to have an abortion without government interference. Many red states are passing laws that contradict Roe and are making abortions extremely difficult to get. 22 states have laws that restrict or ban abortions. Some of these laws include coverage restrictions, which restrict insurance coverage of abortion care and prohibit public funding for abortions. Gestational bans ban abortion after a certain amount of weeks for pregnancy, like at 6 weeks or 15. This means that women will be banned from getting abortions before they even can know that they're pregnant. There are parental involvement laws that require minors to seek parental consent or judicial approval for abortion care. This takes away minors' own control over their bodies and safe access to abortion care. Trap laws force clinics and providers to do a lot of unnecessary and time-consuming medical requirements, which makes them stop providing abortion care altogether. Texas has an insane bounty hunter abortion ban that allows civilians to file a suit against abortion providers or anyone that helps someone get an abortion. If the person filing the suit is successful, then they can get 10 grand. States also make it harder and more expensive for women to get abortions, making them go through extra steps like long waiting periods, biased counseling appointments, and they'll even provide them false medical information. 12 states have trigger bans that will fully outlaw abortions if Roe is overturned. And Roe v. Wade can be overturned by the Supreme Court if these states continue to challenge and contradict the court ruling. I will now explain why adoption isn't always the best choice over abortion. People believe that women who have unplanned pregnancies should always choose adoption over abortion. While this is a great option for some women, there are many downsides to adoption. In the United States, there are more than 428,000 children in foster care. According to the Adoption Network website, almost 20% spend 5 or more years in foster care before being adopted, and some never get adopted. 20,455 children were never adopted and outgrew the foster care system in 2019. The Congregational Coalition Adoption Institute states 25% of youth aging out. The Congregational Coalition Adoption Institute states that 25% of youth aging out did not have a high school diploma or GED. Only 6% have finished a 2 or 4-year degree. People who choose adoption are not thinking about the child's future in foster care and what their outcome may be. There have also been many incidents of sexual assault and abuse in foster care. The Focus of Health website states that children in foster care are 4 times more likely to be sexually abused than their peers not in this setting, and children in group homes are 28 times more likely to be abused. Additionally, the website further states 1/3 of foster children reported abuse by a foster parent or another adult in the home, and 37.4% of perpetrators were institution staff, and 36.5% were foster parents. I'm now going to talk about a woman named Olivia Page, who was emancipated out of the foster care system at 16. Her story is shared on the Upworthy website. Page was physically and sexually abused in 2 different foster homes and was hospitalized at 11 years old for malnutrition and head trauma, which was caused by her foster parents. She was constantly moved to different homes and schools without warning and was never able to get comfortable or make friends. Page claims a life is not saved just by letting it be born. And she dares you to say adoption is always an option to any of the tens of thousands of children who've been waiting patiently for years for someone to come along and give them the chance to define the word family. Some people who saw Page's post asked if she would rather have been aborted than adopted. Other people who grew up in the foster care system and had the same struggles as Page responded to these tasteless questions and stated that yes, they would have rather been aborted than been brought up in foster care. One person even said hell yes to this question. Page's response was, yes, I think that a lump of cells being aborted is better than the millions who will be born into a life like this. Absolutely. Adoption can be a great and beautiful thing when the child is adopted right away and into a warm and loving family. But most of the time, this isn't the case. The foster care system has failed many children like Page and will continue to fail many more. So adoption is not always the best choice over abortion. In conclusion, abortion should be legalized on a federal level and be free of government interference to protect women's rights. Women should have control of their bodies and have a say in their pregnancies. It's terrifying that so many states are restricting and banning abortion because this is a direct attack on women's rights and their free will. If men were the ones that got pregnant, then there will be free abortion clinics on every block, no questions asked. But thank you guys for listening, and please continue to support women's rights. Take care.